wants change. Very few of us are trained to carry it. We live in a world full of ideas where everyone talks about what should change, but very few of us are willing to actually show up for it. In 2025, we reached a quiet conclusion. Waiting was no longer an option. So we chose responsibility over comfort, action over intention. Not for recognition, not for applause, but because we believed something deeply simple. If change is needed, someone has to step forward. This is not a highlight reel. This is not a list of events. This is a story of consistency, of discipline, of empathy in action. This is Imperium Trust. We've learned something important. Change does not begin with noise. It begins with understanding. From the very beginning, we held one belief close. When youth are informed, communities become empowered. Across webinars, workshops, seminars, and boot camps, we watched young minds come together not just to learn, but to question, reflect, and grow. From programming and web development to artificial intelligence, legal awareness, and emerging technologies, learning was never a one-time activity for us. We treated it as a responsibility. Because without understanding, action becomes noise. These sessions were never about certificates. They were never about attendance. They were about confidence, about asking better questions, about realizing something many of us forget. Leadership doesn't come with age. It comes with preparation. When we went into colleges, institutions, and community spaces, we didn't just speak to students. They participated. They spoke. They stepped forward. Because education isn't a preparation for the future. It's action in the present. We didn't plan numbers. We planned consistency. And slowly, impact followed. In just 1 year, we interacted more than 1,000 students across classrooms, campuses, and community spaces. What began as a simple conversation turned into more than 24 structured initiatives designed to educate, engage, and empower. Together, we planted more than 100 trees. We restored public spaces, and we collected more than 500 kilograms of garbage, not as a campaign, but as a responsibility. We conducted 3 in-person seminars, 5 online webinars. We collaborated with more than 10 NGOs, learning that real impact grows stronger together. Along the way, more than 50 one-time volunteers stepped forward. People who didn't ask what they would gain, but asked where they could help. And today, a community of more than 500 people stands connected, not by titles, but by shared values. This year wasn't about doing one big thing. It was about showing up again and again. Because motivation fades, but discipline stays. And discipline is what turns intention into impact. For us, real change never stays inside classrooms. It steps outside. It gets its hands dirty, literally. Through cleanup drives and environmental initiatives, we came together with a shared sense of ownership. Streets were cleaned, public spaces were restored, trees were planted, not as symbols but as promises. Promises to the future. Promises to the communities we live in. Because caring for the environment isn't an event, it's a habit. Some moments demand silence more than applause. For us, health and human care were never campaigns, they were responsibilities. From blood donation camps to visits with healthcare-focused communities, we stepped into spaces where empathy mattered more than words. These weren't moments meant for cameras, they were moments meant for people. Because service doesn't always look loud, sometimes it looks like care. We know many people want change, but very few are prepared to carry it. Imperium Trust exists because society doesn't just need opinions. It needs prepared individuals. Individuals who understand responsibility, who respect systems, who step outside their comfort. We're not here to build followers, we're here to build change makers. And that journey starts earlier than most people think. And then there were moments that changed us. Visits to orphanages, time spent with elders, celebrations that felt less like events and more like family. At old age homes, stories were shared. Stories of resilience, stories of lived experience. And at orphanages, laughter filled the air, pure unfiltered joy. And during Gharchi Diwali, homes that weren't ours felt like they were. This wasn't charity, this was connection. And in those smiled and shared moments, we were reminded of something deeply human. Change begins with empathy. As we move forward, we're preparing for something bigger. More student led initiatives, more structured learning, more action on the ground. If you are a student, if you believe growth begins outside comfort, if you want to be a part of disciplined community that acts, not reacts, this is your space. And this is the right time. Because the future doesn't belong to those who wait. It belongs to those who prepare. Imperium Trust isn't just an organization. It's a responsibility. A responsibility we carry together for society, for the future. Imperium Trust, powered by youth, united for change.